this is Shanei and Alejandro Bratti from the Believe in Yourself, Believe in Your TV show. And we welcome you to the Management Network on Senior TV channel 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Senior TV app on the respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. And while you download, make sure to rate and leave comments. The app is free, and Singo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Fire TV 6 sticks, and Roku sticks, and all smart TV devices from 2016 forward. And today we welcome Terri Matton. How are you, Terri?
Oh, I am great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's such a pleasure. How are you, Alejandro?
Today was like 10 minutes of a lot of technical difficulties, but we are here. So this is the most important thing. Terri, thank you for accepting this invitation to be with us today. We always start. I don't know if you are hearing well.
I hear perfect. Yes.
I can hear you, but there's a little bit of an echo.
Is that better or?
No, but it's fine. You can continue.
Okay, let's continue. I don't know.
The way it's going today.
Today it's completely. We have been doing this for months, and this is working. This today a little bit awkward. So, Terri, let's start today with what you are doing right now, and then we are going to go back and start to see what's happening.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again for having me. And it's a pleasure to meet you both and to be on the call today. What am I doing today? Well, today I am working with my company. I'm so excited. Things are going so well. I'm helping a lot of people. I'm enjoying it. I'm passionate about what we're doing across the globe for our company. And yeah, things are going really well today. We're building a great customer base. We're helping a lot of other people both save money and make money, and helping people grow. Really, it's all about personal development with a compensation plan attached to it. So we're helping people expand their vision, and I'm really enjoying doing that and helping a lot of people. That's what I'm doing these days.
And just to be more specific on that area, what are the things that you are doing? Okay, I know that you are helping people to grow, but right nowadays everybody's saying that. So, like, understanding a little bit more on the details, what are the things that you are and how you are helping people?
Yeah, I can definitely go into more details. Yes, absolutely. So my company, what we do is we offer essential services in the telecommunications, energy, banking, identity theft, and healthcare industries. So basically, I'm helping people get better value. You know, in this economy, especially, people need to pinch pennies, get save money. They need to understand that there's different options out there from the biggest companies, from the big monopolies. You really can look around and get something for better value. And so I'm helping people learn about our company in all of those industries and globally. And when people become our customer, they're very happy. Every time we get a customer, we feed a child through Feeding America, Food Banks of Canada, and in Mexico as well. So we're, again, feeding kids at the same time that we're helping people. And then there is a need right now for people to find additional streams of income. You know, the economy, the price of gas, the price of food. People are really looking, and our company is a vehicle where they can create a residual income on the side of their busy lives. So we just show people how to get started, how to acquire customers, how to build a business. There's a system in place that it doesn't matter. My background was a factory worker when I started, so it doesn't matter what your background is. From 18 to someone 94 just got started recently. So there's no age. Your desire doesn't, I believe, diminish as you get older. At least that's who I'm looking for, people that want to keep going. And we're on a global scale. Our company's helping and expanding. And daily, what do? I do Zooms. I love this technology. I love to be able to get online and meet people globally. It's really opened up, one of the silver linings of what's happened the last couple of years is we're really getting more in, resourceful and using Zoom to reach out on a global scale and bringing, I believe, the world, closer together. And that's what I'm up to.
And when you, okay, let's go back now in your life and start to see before you really believe in yourself. Even, I don't know if you want to talk when you were at the factory or before that. How was life for you? How was everything for you? What were the beliefs that you had, and how you started to work in improve them?
Okay, yes, I can remember. I was working 6 nights a week. We worked a lot of hours in my factory, and it was a very negative environment. I don't know if you've ever worked in a factory, Alejandro or Shanei. It's, shall we say, not very positive. Everybody there is there. I mean, they're there to get their job done, but they don't want to do anything extra. At least my factory. I mean, maybe I'm talking out of turn, but my factory, I was a very hard worker. I was very, proud of the work I did. But if I ever tried to do anything extra, they would say, relax, sit down, you're making us look bad. So there's never encouragement to go above and beyond. Like if I just started sweeping my area, sit down, relax, like crazy. So anyways, so I was not, and the other thing at the time, we would get once a year, renew, go in the office and get a how are you doing, and everyone would get the same message, and I would be so angry because I was working hard, and this, the people around me that weren't caring, they were getting the same good job, way to go, and I was like, no, not way to go. So it was very, very frustrating to say the least. But it's all I knew. Before that, I was a waitress, and my dad works in a factory. My grandfather worked in a factory, so it was kind of like what the family business was. So at that time, I didn't know any different. I really hadn't heard about personal development, to be honest. I was reading books, but I was reading Harlequin romances. It wasn't anything, anything good for the brain. I was just, laying on the beach reading Harlequin romances when I wasn't working. But then I was very, very fortunate that my dad and my sister heard about this company that I'm, ACN, that I'm involved in now, and they were very excited about it. And they invited me to take a look at it. And to be honest, I almost didn't look at it. I only looked at it for them because I was working a lot of hours. People are busy. I was working 6 days a week, husband. My kids were small at the time. I have 2 children who are now 31 and 34, but at the time they were smaller. And as I said, I wasn't looking, but I went out for them, and that's where I really learned about personal development. Well, I learned that there was other opportunities out there that someone could start on a part-time basis. So I was really nervous about starting, but my paycheck was, I was pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. So, extra money sounded good. There was a system in place. That's the first time I'd heard about, someone was going to mentor me. They were going to teach us, train us, help us every step of the way. And it was a business, which I never imagined owning a business because I just was not that type of person. So don't prejudge. And but they said they were going to teach us, and it didn't require any special skills. So I said, well, this sounds too good to pass up. So I just got started, and that's where my personal development journey kind of began. Because when I went to my first live event for the company, everybody was so positive. Everyone was cheering each other on. It was much different than sit down, relax, don't do anything extra. It was like, you can do it. You can grow. You can be successful. You can have anything you want. You could be the speaker. And I never imagined, like, this would have scared the heck out of me. I never spoke in front of people before. Never. So anyways, when my company had started me on that journey of growing, and that's where I really started to take step out of my comfort zone and start tiptoeing into things that are scary.
And if you go to I want to know a little bit more in the past when you are talking about this factory when you were working there. How many years you were there?
There's 6 years.
6 years in the factory.
In the factory, yeah. Before that, I was a waitress for 18 years.
Oh my God. Okay.
I loved waitressing, to be honest. That was my, I like people. So I did.
No,
I
that
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But when my kids went to school, I didn't like Mother's Day, holidays.
Of course.
So that's when you're at the restaurant those days. So that's when I made the move over to the factory. And I worked midnight so I could be home all day with my kids. So I worked at midnight. So I didn't sleep much. I slept
Oh,
during the day. Well, they were at school, I slept. That's when I slept. And then I got up when they got home from school. And then I went to work at 11 o'clock every night. And after 6 years, I was doing both my business and working in the factory for 3 solid years. 3.5 years, I was doing both. I was working all day, all night, and then I was sleeping during the day, and then I was going to build my business because there was no internet back then, I don't believe, or there wasn't this technology. So I had to go meet people live. So I would go out in the evenings and meet people for business, then go to work and do it all over again the next night. And I was, reading. Then I started reading books, like my first book, Think and Grow Rich. And of course, everyone at the factory was laughing at that book. Oh, you're rich yet? You think you can think and grow rich? And they were just, they would make fun of all of my books I would be reading, every month a new book, and they would make fun.
how did you manage doing a full-time job, doing your business, taking care of your family? That's quite a hectic pace that you were running there.
Yes, it was a go, 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 but I was so excited. What's funny is I was so excited about my business that when I went to work at night, it didn't matter. I was so excited. I wasn't going to sleep anyway. I had like insomnia. I was like super excited about the possibilities and what I had been reading. And, I knew that I just was probably going on adrenaline because I was excited. When I would go and meet someone for the business, and they would be excited, then I would be more excited. And then I'd go into work at night and everyone else was grumpy and I was like so excited. That's probably why they were like, settle down. I was just so excited. It was awesome. So that was fun. That was fun. But at a certain point, I kind of couldn't take their negativity was like getting to me. But I was like trying to bring my positivity to them. But the factory, they didn't really. I did get some of them. So, some of the people that worked with me were also excited about the business. So we had a little group of people that were excited. And so I was really trying to just be an example about what's possible and that they didn't, there's other things you could do. But we managed to get it all done. What I found over the years is everyone's busy, but you can expand your plate. Everyone's plate is full, but really you can expand your expandable plates. Your plate's expandable,
Yeah.
before you say, how am I gonna, I have no time. And then you have a baby. Well, you make time. Like, you don't say, yeah, no, I have no time. No, all of a sudden you make time. I think of the people that have, when someone says they're busy, and I think about some of the very successful people that have like 120 businesses on the go. I mean, they have people running them, but we all have more time. I don't believe there's always time for something that's important to you. And you just got to prioritize it. I know for myself, I used to be a TV watcher. I gave up television. Instead of reading Harlequin romance, I read, business books and successful books and John Maxwell and, The Law of Success. I started reading those type of books. And instead of watching a half-hour TV, I would sit down and I'd read a book. So
Cool.
that's how.
And then when you said earlier when you worked at the factory, things are very negative there. Like, How did you handle the negativity and your positivity? How did you combat their negativity to still keep staying positive?
Continuing to stay in the positive environment when I wasn't at the factory. I had to make sure I kept putting positivity in, and I couldn't buy into their opinions. So I would combat that with, I knew that there was this whole other world where people were positive and people were, striving to have success and working on their goals. So I just made sure I focused on that, and I didn't focus on the negativity. I just kind of felt bad for them instead of, joining in with their activity. I try to recruit them into the positivity side. And luckily I didn't have to work a lot of times. So my job was on the end of a line, but people would come to see me. So it's interesting. They would come and visit me, the people that weren't on the line. So I had always all night, people that did want the positivity would come and see me, and they would visit with me and then move on. So that even though they tried to be negative, they couldn't win out. There's too much goodness. Too much goodness.
But that happened even since the beginning when you started, because from your story, I hear you were at the factory 6 years, and 3 of those you were doing 2 jobs at the same time. And the first 3 years, you were like having the same, because I know sometimes you're like, okay, I realize that I have to understand that I have to be optimistic, and I that is going to help me and get rid of the negativity. But what do you think helped you to have this mindset of understanding that negativity is not helping you right now, and you have to surround yourself of positive people? How was that process to get to this? Is really important, and I believe it's important in your life. But where did that come from? When you started to think that this is something that I have to do, doesn't matter that this environment is like this, I am going to succeed in another one, and don't be involved in this environment.
Yeah, what's interesting is I kind of always was a positive person. So even in those 3 years where they were being negative, I still was positive. I didn't have my business vehicle yet, but I still was on a positive. I don't know, my positivity, I think, came. I'm not sure. I think I'm blessed with a good outlook. I always say I'm blessed and highly favored, because I was always very positive. And I just, grateful. I think I was grateful I had a job, and they didn't seem grateful, if that makes sense. So I was grateful right from the beginning. And that kept me positive, but I didn't have the vehicle to get out of there at that point. I just thought I had to make the best of it and be positive, because that's where I was going to be. I mean, that was where I had to spend every evening. So I thought, why not be happy there? You got to be there. Yeah, for me, it's a choice. Like, if you're going to be there, you got to be happy.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right, otherwise you're not a tree. You can move.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I kind of always thought. Like, if it's like a waitress that's not happy. Well, don't be a waitress. So you got to be happy. You got to wait on people. You got to be happy about being there.
So, tell us a little bit more about how, when you left there, like, how did you grow from the factory to where you do now?
Yeah, that was very fun, because I went one day to a big seminar. It was in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. And it was one of those whole day events. I don't know if I'd ever been to one before this. I think this might have been the first one I ever went to. Do you know the ones where they have like a whole list of speakers? So, for example, Tony Robbins was one of the speakers. Colonel Powell. I think that's his name. Yes, Colonel Powell. Who else was there? Oh goodness, there were so many people there. It was like a whole day of like more positivity, more trainings, more positivity. But the one, Tony Robbins is the one that said, like, one of the things he said, this is your, how do you put it? If you don't get up every day excited about what you're doing, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life. So I was like, whoa, that was, powerful. And just thinking about it, sorry, makes me brings me back to, sorry, that night I had to go into the factory, and to go from this whole day of positivity going back into the factory, I said, that's it, I can't do this another night. So that was like the day that I said, I'm getting out of here. So I told my husband, I said, I can't work in this factory anymore. And he said, well, then don't. I was like, really? I can leave? And he's so good. He said, well, you like waitressing. Why don't you go back to waitressing part-time? Do your business part-time? And, that'll be fine. So that's what I did. I was able to fire my boss, and then I went and I ended up going back to waitressing part-time, but I was not far from a position where I was able to walk away from and just do my business after that. So it was a great day. But when I think about it, I think, what if I hadn't gone?
And thank you for being that open, Terri. And it's okay. Really, it's really okay. And don't apologize for feeling things because it's perfect. It's for me. It's amazing, because at the end, that's what we want to share. It's the heart of the people, and that's what we are seeing here. So, in that heart that you are speaking now, I know that you were positive, but at the same time, you were suffering, because that negativity at the end, it's always sucking your energy. Even when you are outside of the world and trying to be as positive as you can, you are feeling that energy that it's being sucked every night, and the next day you have to recharge again somehow. So how was that recharging, and how was that energy sucking, and how you deal with that? I know I need the money and I have to do it, and that's why you are in survival mode. But how was that survival mode, and how you were dealing with both things? Like, I am very positive all the time, but at the same time, this is sucking all my energy. How you started to work with that until you get to this moment to decide, no, this is it. This is the time that it's enough. I can continue doing other stuff. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how I made it. Because it was such polar opposites. But the well, I have a good support system. Luckily, I was surrounded by really positive people as well. Even in my family that didn't do the business and wasn't at the factory, was still always very encouraging. And they saw in me what I didn't see. A lot of times, people saw people. Yeah, before I could believe in myself, other people believed in me. So their belief in me, I just was taking their belief in me and saying, knowing that at that point, I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna go off and do big things. And I just held on to that. I just held on to the fact that I was reading all the right things, and I was going to be successful, and I was going to be able to get out of there. But to be honest, I'm not sure how I made it, how I broke free, because a lot of people don't. They're trying and they get pulled back. It's like an elastic. You stretch so far and then you get stretched back. So it's not an easy thing to get out, or to stay positive when you're in a group of people, because you are, the 5 people you hang around, you are the sixth one. So when you're in that negativity, it is hard to be around. But once I made that decision, then like I didn't do it. I'm trying. I don't even remember the timeline of when I saw Tony Robbins and said, "This is my life. It's not a dress rehearsal." To when I actually left my job, that was probably the most difficult time. And then I left, and then of course everyone is encouraging. Once you're not there, they say, "I know you could do it. I knew you could do it." And there was a huge party when I left. I remember that, and I still have the book that everybody signed. Saying good luck and you're gonna be successful. And from there I went on to. I had to, when I talk about how I couldn't speak like this, it was I ended up having to do step out and to be what I wanted to be in my business. I had to keep growing. I had to keep going to seminars. I had to keep learning, and I had to start getting in front of people. So I was, started with a little crowd, but I have spoken in front of 15,000 people before at many times at conventions. I've been in skits at conventions in front of 15,000 people, but that was not that was a process. That was a process. And I find it's funny when you're in a smaller crowd talking, it's even harder than a huge crowd because everyone's looking at you. And meanwhile, on the big crowd, you can't see all the faces. So sometimes the more intimate, the more scary it is to talk. Like today.
Thank you for sharing your heart with us and sharing your story. It really means a lot.
Oh, thank you for listening to my story. Thank you.
And tell us a little bit. So I feel, did you suffer some type of burnout at that moment? And why I'm asking all these things, because at the end that was creating the new version of Terri. It's like, okay, I have to leave behind this and start to become this other person. And I know that there can be people right now that is listening to us that maybe they are in that situation right now, and it's like they are having this type of burnout, this type of negativity. They are needing this conversation right now. That's why understanding that vulnerability that you're having here and how you are sharing is, oh, I am exactly like Terri. I want to learn how to succeed and have a better life,
Well, let me think. I probably am just trying to think back. I was so happy to be out of there. Then I was just excited. But then I was still with waitressing for a while, which I loved, so I didn't mind that, and doing the business and just continuing. One thing, going to events, whether it be, so I was really lucky because my company had live events every quarter where they would bring in speakers. So I've seen John Maxwell many times. I don't know if you know John Maxwell. Yeah. I've got my picture with him, and I loved his trainings. And they brought in, Tony Robbins was at one of our events. We've had, oh goodness, so many great speakers. I can't even think of them all right now. But just plugging into that kept me going. But then you do need a downtime every now and again. I've had a few, where I took my foot off the gas. I went to Florida a couple of winters for like January, February, March, and just, took it easy a little bit. But kept reading, kept learning, kept working on my vision boards, creating new vision boards, to really see. I'm still working on. I'm a work in progress. I'm nowhere where I want to be yet, but I'm farther than I was. I'm trying to enjoy the journey, because it's a journey.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it. Enjoying the journey, so just enjoy the journey. Like, you have to go through everything.
Yeah.
You can't help people if you haven't been through it. Yes. So, that's how I look at it. I think sometimes people are like successful super fast, and I think, in relatively speaking, and then they can't understand when someone isn't having success fast. They can't relate to it. So I think it's almost sometimes better if it takes you a little bit of time to have the success that you're looking for, so that you can relate to so many more people when you get there, when you try to
So
bring people with
let's
you.
do a little summary with what I'm hearing, and please tell me if there are some things that I am missing. But from moving to from the factory to this new business, and understanding how to grow and how to continue having new opportunities, the first thing, you were optimistic and you try to be as optimistic as possible. And the only way to do that was having a support team that was helping you. Support community that included your family, included friends, included the people that are around you.
Yeah.
The other thing is you were reading books and changing your habits from looking at watching TV to reading books. And I am doing this summary because that is key for everybody. That is like, if you are in a situation that you don't like, you need to start to do things that you are not doing right now, and start to change the thing that you are doing. So being optimistic, surround with people that it's better, that is optimistic, that is helping you. And another good thing that you were saying is that even when you don't believe in you, surround yourself of people that is believing in you, and that's really important. Sometimes we don't believe because I don't see, if I am in the middle of the mud, I don't see like anything, but maybe the people around me that it's better, they can see it. So that can help you a lot also. Start to have people that believe in you, that can see in a different perspective. They have different perception and you can rely on them. That's really nice. The other one is go as many speaking places, of course, with good people that is helping you to think better and see better. And that will also help you to elevate yourself and elevate your energy and be ready to start to do things that you are not used to. For example, speaking here. so so those are things that I have been catching from what you have been saying. What other things you can say, okay, this is another secret sauce that I have used until now, and that is helping me right now to continue growing. And I know that I am a work in progress. That is fine and that is perfect. Uh, but that is helping you. For example, that vision board, that's another one that is really good, because it's not only I have a dream of something that I don't know what is it, but you already created a vision board like, okay, this is exactly what I want. I am not there yet. I am enjoying the process, but I will be there. What
Yeah.
other thing do you have?
um, a mentor who is already where you want to be in your company or in business. And I've found that people that are very successful already, they got there because they want to help other people typically, and so they're very open to helping. So finding a mentor, I've been very blessed to have some incredible leaders that have taken me under their wing. Um, and just doing scary things. Say yes first, and then figure out how. Like that you have to grow to be the person that you'd said yes to do whatever it is you want to do. So just keep stepping, just doing things that are uncomfortable. If you can get comfortable being uncomfortable, that's how everything we want is just outside our comfort zone. So that's how I always look at things. And when my comfort zone got bigger, I just said yes to, like, okay, would you go and introduce the speaker, in front of the 300 people? I would have normally said no. I said yes. And then I was like, why did I say yes? But then I did it. And then then that was comfortable. And then, could you do this in front of 500 people? Yes. And then I was like, why did I say yes? And then go do it. So it's always doing that step that you don't want to take, because you always feel so good after you did it. So just doing it regardless, and feel the fear and do it anyway has always just been my motto. Feel the fear. And like you were saying, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. So that's why having other people, don't be afraid to ask people what, because we all have blind spots. We don't know what we don't know. So there's always, things that are happening that maybe we don't see that, I know I've self-sabotaged myself many times in the past. Just before having success, I would like somehow self-sabotage myself. So just being open to criticism, not criticism, well, sort of criticism, people helping you see your blind spots, and but cut yourself some slack, because life's a roller coaster, which is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It's a roller coaster. It'd be boring if it was not a roller coaster. You got to have your little ups and downs to appreciate where you're going when you get there.
So in regards of in regards of the great residuals, how that works, what is the thing that you have learned about that? How is it working for you? If somebody is like, okay, everybody wants residuals, money to grow, but at the same time, there is a lot of things that are not working in the market, how they can realize, okay, this is a real thing that can help, and this is not working, and you have to be careful. So when you have to look for those type of things, what have you learned until now that it's working and what is not working?
Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of great companies, and there's a lot of great things that work if you work. I always say it works if you work. There's a lot of things that people would say, well, it's not working for me. I know for me and my company, it's always worked for people that work. You don't get anything if you're not going to put the effort in. What I specifically love about what I do is it's in industries that we're already all paying for. So it's like I'm a little biased because I've been with only this one company and only marketing services my whole life instead of a product. So, but I always love that it's internet. What I sell is internet, cell phones, electricity, gas, home security, television. So it's everything that people already have, and I just show them how to pay less. So it's a bill that's going to come regardless versus something they don't particularly maybe need or can't afford. And when there's a bad economy, a lot of those extras go, but you never give up your cell phone or your hydro or your gas. So it's definitely it's recession proof. It's our biggest years are when there's a bad economy, because people are open to looking at other ways of making money, and people are open to saving money. They're a little bit more willing to do something different. So this is, but not to say that other companies, if someone is in a company and they're real passionate about it, they just keep working the plan, it's going to work for them. But it's all about you. Wherever you go, there you are. One of my mentors said that. So sometimes people leave to another company because they think it's the company. No, it's you. If there's people in your company having success, it's not the company. It's you. So you have to grow. You have to be the person. I was just, one of my mentors always says, like, who are you being? I work on being a senior vice president, which is the top position in my company, Circle Champions, top influencer. Like, if I'm not having results, I say, who am I being right now? Am I being a senior vice president? Or so you have to see it before you have to almost like experience it before you can have it. So
yeah,
just keep working on yourself. You never go wrong if you're working on yourself.
Yeah.
Then when you show up to whatever business or opportunity, you're going to be the person that's going to have success because you've already worked on the most important part, which is yourself.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
And I really love it. I really love, and I want to acknowledge for that, because for me that is really important. At the end, it could be you and it could be your mix between you and the company. So you have to decide if it's not working for you and you need another place, do it, but work on you. Of course.
yeah,
Don't stay stuck if you feel that everything is negative. Maybe there are some people in that factory that are amazing and they are doing amazingly, but because they were in a different perspective in that place, but for you was not the place and you needed to change and you needed to move. for you was a negative place. So there is, in the same place, we can have both things. So when you are at that moment like that, you have to move and start to take decisions. And for me, that's your story is amazing, Terry. I really enjoy your story today. Like there is a lot of nuggets, wisdom nuggets that you gave. So I really I'm grateful for you, and having you here with us was really good.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
Uh,
I'm so happy that we got a chance to meet.
yes, Shanei, do you have any comment to finish the session today?
Yes, I have one question. So what you just said was, I can't remember your exact words, but are you a firm believer in fake it till you make it?
No, I'm more believe in, um, I guess not, that sounds kind of in a negative term to me. Um,
Mm,
believe it so you can achieve it. Like, just believe it. Just, I, yeah, I don't know how to say not, I don't believe in fake it till you make it, because that sometimes I don't believe in being fake ever. But,
yeah, me too.
um, yeah,
Yeah,
so,
that's like the
but
best way to describe it.
yeah, because you have to be who you are always, because
Yeah.
people, you know, if you spend any time with people, you're going to know who they are. Like,
Mm,
right? So, no, I don't. Sometimes companies say, like, just fake it till you make it. No, just believe it. Just believe it. If other people can do it, you can do it. And just kind of
yeah.
try to envision yourself getting where you want to go. But be just yourself. Just be yourself, because you're enough. Everyone, you just gotta be yourself, and just keep growing and growing yourself to a higher level. If
And
that makes
then
sense.
what if people think that they are not enough to, and they don't have the confidence to be themselves?
They will, if they keep reading books, and if they keep listening to, listening, getting a mentor, if they just keep working on it. I mean, I believe everybody has greatness inside them, and they just need to keep working on it till they see it, till they see it.
Mm.
And I know that's going to take a while. Sometimes it takes a while, but that's okay. We're here for a while. So, that's like the 94-year-old that just got started. Like, he's not done yet. He's 94 and he's working on himself, and he's not done yet. He's not. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how long it takes. We're not getting out of here alive. Just keep going. Just keep going. But you got to find something you love to do, since since we want to keep going.
Mm,
So we
yeah,
are
that's great.
we are at the end of the show already, but really it was a pleasure to hear your story, Terry. Thank you for being
Thank
here with us. Shanei, also, it's always a pleasure to be with you here today. And everybody that is listening to us, it was great to have you here with us. Thank you very much for having us. This show can be also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and leave it. Thank you all, and see you next week.